Hi, Miss Eglin here. Today I'm going to be reviewing chapter 11 of Lois Lowry's The Giver. So the first question we have for chapter 11 is the first memory that Jonas receives is of, okay, so we've read the chapter already, and now we are going back and looking back in the text for our answers. So I'm skimming through, what's Jonas's first memory? Well, at the end of 10, the current receiver says I'm going to transmit the memory of snow. So I'm assuming it's snow, but I want to go back and look. Okay, so he's cold. Okay, so there's a sled, there's a hill. So now I know Jonas is sledding. So I might say something like the first memory that Jonas receives is of a sled ride, something like that. 2, what happened to the giver after transmitting the memory to Jonas? Now, first of all, this is soft science fiction. We never find out exactly how the current receiver of memory is able to give somebody a memory, because we know we can't put our hands on somebody and just give them a memory. So we don't know how this is happening in this book. And again, that's why it's considered soft science fiction. Okay, so I'm looking for what happens to the memory after it is given. Okay, so down here, let's see what page we're on, 82. Jonas sat up and answered honestly, I'm surprised. The old man wiped his forehead with his sleeve. Woo, he said it was exhausting, but even transmitting that tiny memory to you, I think it lightened me just a little. And then Jonas is asking a question, and then he says, do you mean now you don't have that memory of that ride on the sled anymore? And then the guy says, that's right, a little weight off this old body. And then he's saying, well, it's not a big deal. All I gave you was one ride on one sled and one snow on one hill. I have a whole world of them in my memory. I could give them to you one by one 1,000 times and there still would be more. Okay, so now we know once the memory is transmitted, it's now in the person who got it. Okay, now this is a really important question. Why doesn't it snow in Jonas's community? And this really leads back to like when Jonas calls an elephant an imaginary animal, with the comfort objects, why didn't he know what an animal was? Well, now we know they don't have snow because they don't have snow. Okay, they don't know what animals are because they don't have animals. So this is on the bottom of 83, and he says, why don't we have snow, sleds, hills? And then he says, no, it's a very distant memory. What happened to those things, snow and the rest? 83, climate control. Snow made growing food difficult, limited the agricultural, that's like farming periods, and unpredictable weather made transportation almost impossible at times. It wasn't a practical thing, so it became obsolete when we went to sameness. Okay, so they got rid of it because it wasn't, convenient. Okay, so it doesn't snow because somehow they got rid of snow. Okay, and then it says during the first day of job training, Jonas experienced, you could say, memories, or you could get more specific, hill, snow, cold, and now he's going to get another memory, and this time it's an all-over sensation. When he licked his lips, the air was hot and heavy. He didn't move. There was no sled. He perceived the word for it, sunshine. So he gets sun, and then we have this horrifying realization in the community they don't have sun. Okay, they've gotten rid of, light. They've gotten rid of hills. They've gotten rid of cold. We don't know how they've done that, but they have because it is inconvenient. And then at the end of the chapter, he gets a sunburn, and then he's told he has to go home, and then he says to the guy, well, I'm the receiver, so what do I call you? And then the man had sat back down in the comfortable upholstered chair. He moved his shoulders around as if to ease away an aching sensation. He seemed terribly weary. Call me the giver, he told Jonas. Dun, dun, dun. So now we know he has met the giver and he is the receiver. Okay, so let's move on to our TDA journal. The community seems to control things in order to preserve things. Analysis. Why might the giver feel that having these memories is such a burden? How would you feel and why? Okay, so I put the giver may feel like these memories are a burden because he's the only one who experiences them. I think I would be irritated if I alone have to hold these painful memories. And then to support this, climate control snow made growing food difficult, limited the agricultural period, and unpredictable weather made transportation almost impossible at times. It wasn't a practical thing, so it became obsolete when we went to sameness. So they got rid of it. And, Jonas experiences the sunlight and he likes it. And he's like, why did we get rid of these things? Not convenient. They had to go. So a sensation is like a feeling of something. We know, we have 5 senses. So feeling something with your senses. Consciousness, I would say, is being aware of something, like your thoughts. Like I'm conscious of something happening. If you're unconscious, you're sleeping or you're in a coma, you're not aware of things. Runners are the metal pieces on the bottom of the sled that allow it to slide through the snow. Agriculture has to do with farming. Obsolete is something that is no longer used. So in our culture, phone booths are obsolete because now almost everybody has a mobile phone. A record player, yes, I still have a record player, is obsolete because now people use digital music. Words with a different meaning. Annex, a separate room attached to a larger building. That's where the training takes place. And it's really a very plain outside building. Now, sameness is a huge concept in the book, and it is really when all persons and items appearing and acting alike as well as experiencing the same things. If you have something different, like Jonas has pale eyes, that is not to be called out. Everybody is supposed to be the same. Climate control is also pretty important here. The weather is managed. It's always the same. Transmission is giving somebody, the memory to another person. So if you have understood this chapter and you're ready, move on to chapter 12. If not, good readers always want to go back and reread the parts that they don't understand. You can email me questions or leave me a question in the comment below. And as always, if you like this video, smash the bell and give me a huge thumbs up. Thank you for watching.